Did you know that the more that you ride your bicycle, the more of yourself goes into your bicycle, and eventually you and your bicycle are sort of hard to distinguish? Well, that's one thing posited by The Third Policeman by Flann O'Brien. This is the book I'm reviewing for you today. This was introduced to me by Colin, who has introduced to me a lot of interesting writing, and I could not be more grateful. I had such a fantastic time with this book. It is a darkly comedic and yet at the same time sort of playful existential novel by an Irish writer, and this was actually published only a year after his death, but 7 years after the book was actually finished. The main protagonist is a murderer and a thief, and sort of a reluctant one at first, but a murderer nonetheless. And he basically ends up very, very close to his co-murderer because that guy made off with the cash, and as soon as he lets him out of his sight, he knows he's just going to run off with the money, so he can't do that. He stays right by his side. One day they finally decide, after like 3 years, they're going to go after the money, and then that's when things start getting very, very weird. It's often very witty, very absurd. There are times when it just took a little bit. I had to kind of slow down to kind of understand and really take in the sort of, heady concepts that do come up in here, even though the way that they're introduced is a lot through absurdism. Some people have compared this to Alice in Wonderland, but instead of it happening through queens who are trying to chop your head off, these involve policemen who see colors in the wind, who have very strange ideas about bicycles coming to life, and who deal with a strange substance called omnium, amongst many other sort of interesting theories that are woven throughout the book. The book does use footnotes quite a bit, mostly in regard to a crackpot philosopher called De Selby. If all this sounds very strange, you're kind of having a hard time wrapping your head around what this book is exactly about, you've got an idea of what the book is about. It is really kind of hard to know where this book is going. It doesn't have a standard plot, of course. It's a very much sort of interesting cycle of literature. So, is this going to be for everybody? I don't think so, for sure. I think you're going to have to want a certain amount of active participation in the reading that you're doing at any given time. At the same time, I don't think it's unapproachable. This did not feel like a chore or an assignment at all, though, because the language is so witty. If you like words, if you like witty use of absurdism, I think you'll really, really like this book. And I really cannot recommend this book enough if you are in the mood for that sort of reading experience.